as usual, we finish off with Certification Corner. You have for us this week PenTest Plus. Tell us what is PenTest Plus?
Continuing.
You did the blue team
course.
stuff last time. You're going the red team
Of course,
now,
and
aren't you?
it's continuing with the theme of CompTIA. Shout out to CompTIA if you want to throw us some vouchers that we could give away to our awesome listeners. Not going to say no, but
Might try and see what affiliate program they've
why
got.
not? Really, PenTest Plus, as you said, red team. This is absolutely a nod towards getting on the offensive side of things. You're going to be breaking in. You're going to be a cyber burglar. Of course, it's going to be white hat hacking. Cyber burglar, right? That's that was the allure 10 years ago, right? A doe-eyed, bushy-tailed young Omar was like, I could, be a cyber burglar. Why not get into it?
I'm loving the sort of mental image that I have of the standard kind of like burglar with the stripy,
of course,
the stripy top and the swag bag, but instead of stripes, it's just like ones and zeros.
100%, and still with the little raccoon mask. Still, right, with the old timey mask, not a balaclava. That's a little too crazy. But this is, it's a very strong offering from CompTIA. It's absolutely a little bit more advanced. I wouldn't be, go hard charging into it after your Sec Plus. Give yourself some time. Also, let yourself meander towards the subject matter if it gels with what you want to be pursuing. There's also very reason for that. It's a second edition already. I think I was an old man and I think I took the first edition, so hooray me. But it's 85 questions.
Can I ask a question? Are we ever going to get to a certification that you've not taken?
No, there's a ton. Well, I say that, and then again, my wife, gets mad at me when I start getting sad after taking one and passing it. There's fewer to take, and she goes, "Cool, you can, be a human again." But
each certification is like a gateway drug to the
100%, right? You get the one ping of happiness, and then it's back to. I think
it's diminishing
returns. It really is. It's just it gets less sweet. I'm chasing that dragon. But it's one of it's
certification junkie.
That's me. So it's still roughly a maximum of 85 questions. I think they still do the thing where they intersperse maybe 10 that are going to be test material for the next iteration, but they won't tell you what it is. Scale 100 to 900. They do some weird math foo so that you don't quite exactly know, hey, you need a 65 or 75 to pass. It's a score that they come up with. You get a smidge under 3 hours to tackle this. The prerequisites and the recommended experience, nothing hard and fast yet. I've started to see a trend, as we discussed with the Security Plus, where they go right up to the line of saying, hey, get the Network Plus before you take this, please, please, please. I endorse that move. I think having a solid foundation in networking is, you want to talk about gateway drugs, it's the absolute gateway drug to just a fruitful IT career. If you don't know how stuff talks to each other, how are you going to defend it, tinker with it, improve it, etc.? So Network Plus is listed on here. Of course, the Security Plus is on here. That just makes sense. If you're taking this before the Security Plus, we need to have a conversation, right? I've led you astray. What are you doing? It's a silly way to go. They're putting it at still 3 to 4 years of hands-on experience. So this is absolutely not something that you want to take in order to then jump into the career. And for any job posters or hiring managers that would do this, I'm going to look at you really hard if you're putting this on entry-level jobs, right? I will name and shame. I will reshare that posting and I will go, what the devil is going on? And that's the nicest thing I'll say.
It's one of my number one.
What, the CISP on an entry level? Like, that's just nonsense. Like, please.
Well, there's like, I mean, in recent times, I have seen not required but preferred, and even if you're saying but preferred on a CISP or CISM on an entry level, you're an absolute cretin of a hiring
piece
manager.
Of garbage is what I want to say. Yes,
I'm happy to call it. I'm happy to tell hiring managers to their face, if you are asking for qualifications that require 5 years of experience on an entry level job posting, Get the fuck out.
Yeah, get fucked. Straight up, just hard. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
In fact, you've got no right to be a hiring manager.
I'll repost it, share it in order to flame it on LinkedIn. That is, I very rarely get into those internet beefs again. My late 30s have taught me patience and less pettiness slightly, believe it or not. But that is something folks are already trying their hardest to get in. And I think also the game needs all the great folks it can. So there's just this weird hiring practice nonsense. But going back to the point, this is not something you take when you're just starting out. It's something you take to validate skills that you like to hone, right? And showing that you like this side of the cyber skill set. It's still relatively affordable. I will say relatively affordable because there was one that I self-funded back in the day. I won't name names. We will on another show. That was $1,000, and I was getting it to try to get in. I self-funded because I wanted to get into the field. Thankfully, the voucher itself is a smidge over 400. Obviously, they offer training packages, CompTIA. Again, it's one of those. Cert Master is amazing. I will say that essentially, if you go through the Cert Master for any cert that they offer, and you score consistent 90s, it's a coronation, is what the real cert is. Honest to goodness, but that's really pricey. So you have to kind of pick your poison. The alternatives that I would recommend for folks, hackers on a budget, would be, I'm a big fan of the Try Hack Me PenTest Plus route.
Oh yeah,
that is Try Hack Me as a platform just is amazing. I love the folks there. I think they're from your side of the pond there, Robin. So shout out. I believe I might be just confusing them with Hack the Box or Vuln Hub, but one of those three, if not two of those three, are based in Europe. But this room from Try Hack Me, it's the CompTIA PenTest Plus. I believe a big chunk of it still is free. You don't have to sign up for the subscription in order to get access to it. And it is just, it's wall-to-wall goodies. You get a lot of hands-on stuff, which is helpful because, yes, this is one of those certs that you have practical questions for. This is actually the first one, when I first took it a few years ago, that I saw those practical questions being debuted by CompTIA, and now they've gone ahead and done them for the CISA as well as even, I think, for the Sec Plus. So this is the OG for practical questions. I love taking it. This was a fun one. It really opens your eyes to a whole other side of the InfoSec house. On top of that, I think there is kind of in the mid-range between free 99 from Try Hack Me and a bazillion dollars from CompTIA for the training, not the voucher. My good friend Jason Dion training offers, about like another $400. His course, wall-to-wall goodies as well. Still, there's the price component there. Outside of that, you grab your books from the official books. I think it's Cybex. The white and red lettering, the OG CompTIA books that they always offer, and you just go to town. This is a fun one.
You're a special breed when you say things that like you enjoy taking exams, or it was an enjoyable exam to take. I think I've had that happen as many times as I can count on one hand, and that's purely because I was like, I know the answers to this. It does make a lot of sense that when you said, because you said it was 85 questions, I was thinking, oh, for one of these exams, that kind of like seems a little bit light. And then you said it was like 3 hours. I was like, that's a really light number of questions for 3 hours. I did suspect that they were going to be practical.
A lot of
take
them.
your time through them. Gonna have to run it.
Absolutely, a lot of them are, and I think what they've started to do, and they haven't changed the version of the test. It's still version 2, but I think in latest iterations of the test, they've started to do more practical than before. It was, they really just introduced them on version 1, and I think on version 2 they upped the amount of practical, because that's one of those differentiators where it's not just a multiple choice test. But you're spot on, Robin. It on its face, it doesn't seem like a lot, but the type of questions it's asking you and the type of reading you're going to have to do and the type of analysis. Yeah.
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 Is that open book?
No.
I think guess
No.
no.
Oh goodness, no. No, CompTIA.
Oh, it feels like it.
Mhm.
It feels like it should be, but
Listen,
ooh,
and that's where we'll get into those, I think, down the road, like the open book or
yeah.
the more the OSCPs or the
Hmm.
PNTPs, where it just here's some targets, go nuts. Those
Yeah.
are definitely, I would say, on the coronation or the higher end of the red team side of certification land here. But this is like your midway through. But yeah, CompTIA is not known for doing open book for, I believe, for any of its exams at this point. Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, give me a second. My power actually wasn't plugged in. No, it won't reach. Shit. Let me just see if I can. Woo! Read. Let me see if I can put it in.
Nice.
Is it going to do something? Yeah, it's done. All right, cool. So restart that one. So what kind of role is somebody going to be in if they want to be taking this? Are they going to be like security ops center? What are they going to be
They're going
doing?
to be much more on your red team / purple team side of things. This
Okay,
is going to be maybe your risk assessment team or your
got it.
your logical pen testing, or even if you want to be the logical SME on a full-fledged physical red team, right? Or which would I think go hand in hand with what we
Hmm.
discussed earlier in the episode, right? You can be the person that's hacking
Okay,
at the computer systems on an overall cyber and physical pen test. That's really where I think you're gonna leverage the skills that you're gonna develop to validate on this exam. That's where you're gonna find some good roles.
neat. And this really is for the people who want to do, as far as their role in security, they want to be doing the hacking
Yep.
thing, but not getting arrested for it.
100%. It's I love the little logo for it, which I think foot stomps the point. It's the white hat on
Hmm.
the old timey server there. So I think yeah, you want to do this. It's going to be ethical hacking. I think for my money, and for the price point, and as well as where in your career you take this, it's probably one of the strongest ones there. The only one which we can cover, as I said, down the road to be like a PNTP from TCM Security, which is just, I love anything that they produce. So we can get into that down the road.
Neat. Very, very good. Well, if you have any questions, our dear audience, or want to know more about something like PenTest Plus or indeed CISA that we discussed in the last episode, feel free to drop questions in the comments. Omar will be happy to get back to you on them.
Love it.
I'd love to do it, but I don't have the depth of knowledge that he does. So that is that really. What's the next sensible step on from a pen test plus? Where would you go
I
next?
think just to round out the skill set, if you double down on red teaming, then I think the
Hmm.
ones I mentioned, you can do, the EJPT or the practical pen test, the PPT, PNTP from TCM Security, or of course the granddaddy of them all, the OSCP from OffSec, the producers and maintainers of the Kali Linux distribution, which is the one that's
Oh,
tailored.
interesting.
Yeah, it's tailored to hacking, which I'd love to dig into those on successive episodes. But what I think we might, as a teaser, cover on the next one would be
Hmm.
the crowning achievement. For now, I hope they produce more because then I get to go and take more. For now, it's the CASP from
You
CompTIA.
love
Yes,
CASP,
I do.
but also these discussions, these cert corner discussions, always highlight to me we have way too many acronyms.
Yes. Oh yeah, in terms of yeah.
And okay, it's fine. It makes things easy to say, but good lord, do we have to do a lot of defining. Right, so on that bombshell, let's do a quick recap. So we're talking PenTest Plus. It's for if you've been 3-4 years in the game, you've done your Security Plus, you've done your Network Plus, ideally, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in some hot water. It's if you want to do offensive security, so you want to do the good guy hacking, not the defensive stuff. Round about the 400-ish mark, naturally the courses and whatnot will run you into higher. But if you're if you're an accomplished self-directed learner, you may do perfectly fine simply with the exam voucher. And that's from CompTIA.
Yes.
Next steps on, which we will get into in subsequent weeks, would be potentially something like CAS.
Yes.
And the dog went
Exactly.
nuts.
The
Okay.
dog's a red teamer. I could tell. from the jump.
Absolutely. She's a little psycho. I saw my wife at the window. Okay. I might leave that in. On that very, very barky bombshell, we shall leave you for this week.